We have breaking news. Tonight, here it is. This is the latest salvo in the showdown between former President Donald Trump and Attorney General Merrick Garland. And just a short time ago, the Justice Department filing this pleading, asking the judge to keep secret the affidavit used to convince a federal judge to issue a search warrant of Mar-a-Lago. Now, the DOJ arguing that by releasing the affidavit, it could hamper the department's investigation and potentially harm those involved. The filing also says in a footnote, these concerns are not hypothetical, following the, quote, widely reported threats made against law enforcement following last week's search. Now, President Trump has not yet had a chance to respond to this new pleading, but his supporters certainly have been speaking out since last Monday. Many Republicans are demanding that the secret affidavit be made public, as it shows the FBI's justification for the search warrant. Justice Department says that it had probable cause to conduct the search, arguing possible violations of the Espionage Act. But many Republicans are crying foul and want to know exactly what did the FBI tell the federal judge who issued the search warrant. My next guest is one of the Republicans calling for the affidavit to be made public. Pennsylvania Congressman and former FBI Special Agent Brian Fitzpatrick joins me. Good evening, sir. First of all, let me ask you the question. You are calling for the affidavit to be made public. I'd like to see it. I mean, everybody who's been involved in the criminal justice system wants to know, because that's where the meat is. But why are you calling for it?
Well, because as I've said repeatedly, Greta, and thanks for having me, by the way, this was an unprecedented action. And that unprecedented action needs to be backed up with unprecedented justification. And there's only one place where we can find out whether that unprecedented justification exists, and that is in the affidavit of probable cause. We held the Republicans on the House Intelligence Committee, on which I sit, held a press conference on Friday, and I telegraphed to the press that day, when we knew what was going to be unsealed, which was the warrant, the rider to the warrant, and the property receipt, that it's not going to tell you much of anything other than the statutory sections that were being investigated. All the answers lie in that document. And Greta, even if they don't want to first disclose it to the public, there's no reason why they can't bring it into the SCIF and present it for review for the members of the House Intelligence Committee and the Senate Intelligence Committee, because after all, we oversee the entire national security and intelligence community. So if we can't see it, who can?
All right, let me just back up. I mean, you come here with a very rich experience for the show tonight. Besides being a member of Congress, that you were former FBI yourself. Tell me, is it at all routine, or do affidavits ever get released in, as part of search warrants for people to see?
No, normally they are filed under seal, pre-indictment, and then it's released. But there is a baseline legal presumption of transparency, meaning that the default is that it be unsealed and presented to the public. The burden is on the prosecution, in this case, the Department of Justice, to show just cause to the judge for repeatedly keeping it under seal. But this is not the normal run-of-the-mill case, Greta. This is unprecedented. It's caused a lot of turmoil and turbulence in our community and throughout America. So these are different circumstances. And again, the first step would be allowing members of the Intelligence Committee to see it, so that they can make the case to us first why national security interests dictate that this remain under seal and out of the public view.
Well, the judge, of course, hasn't ruled on this. President Trump and his lawyers have not had a chance to respond to it. It's just, it's just been filed. But even another alternative, which the judge could make, is besides showing it secretly, for instance, for Republicans in a SCIF, or to the president and his lawyers under seal, is you can do something called redact. You can release anything that's not going to jeopardize the investigation. And you just do a big black mark, and we see it all the time in the Freedom of Information Act. But they don't want, the Justice Department apparently doesn't want any of this out.
Yeah, well, I imagine if they put it out redacted, there'd be awful lot of redactions, Greta. It would beg more questions than it answered. But again, this is an unprecedented case. So to answer you, the normal run-of-the-mill investigation, yes, it remains under seal to maintain a covert investigation covert. This investigation is no longer covert. It is over. It became overt with the execution of the search warrant. And Greta, really what we're looking for here, obviously probable cause is a low standard. That's not a hard standard to meet. What we're more interested in, particularly on the House Intelligence Committee, is to make sure, because the execution of a search warrant is the most extreme, invasive investigative step that can be taken in terms of the collection of evidence. The most conservative approach would be the passive service of a subpoena with a future production date. There's things in between, for example, a forthwith subpoena where you can serve it at the doorstep. You do not enter the premises, but you require production right then and there. Given the severity of this evidence collection technique and the sensitivity of the location, which is the personal residence of a former president, that's what most of us want to see. How is it possible that no less invasive methods to gather this evidence?
All right, in reading the 13-page document that the Justice Department filed, and look, I'm a former criminal defense attorney. I've spent years attacking these, not supporting them, admittedly, so I look for the problems in them. That's my training. But it says, in part, the affidavit, if disclosed, would serve as a roadmap to the government's ongoing investigation. Now, what in the world does that mean? I mean, we all know what this investigation is. What are the documents? Did he have them? Did he intend to commit a crime with them? So we're already there on that. So I don't even know why they want that.
Exactly, Greta. I mean, that's, again, I'm a former agent, and I want to give law enforcement the benefit of the doubt, and I have, and I will continue to do so, as we all should. I'm a huge supporter of law enforcement. All I'm saying in this circumstance, this is a very unique circumstance. This is a case of first impression. It's an unprecedented act. So we've now, as the government, the Department of Justice has now set a brand new precedent for the conducting of search warrants in very, very sensitive investigations. So all we're looking to see in the SCIF, with members that are charged with oversight of the DOJ and the national security apparatus, for us to see for ourselves what is so sensitive here, because it's a very high bar to meet. I'm not saying it can't be met. We won't know until we read the affidavit, but it's a very high bar to meet here.
You know what I find interesting, that the members of the Intel Committee in the House have security clearances, I take it. Would you expect that the FBI agents who actually made the seizures here would have that security clearance to look at the documents to seize them?
I would sure hope so, because that would be a problem in and of itself.
Is that a requirement? Is that a requirement? Well,
it's a requirement that you have SCI access. So every agent, by virtue of being an agent, has top secret clearance. To have SCI clearance is different. You actually have a different markation on your badge. That requires 5-year polygraph examinations, more intensive 5-year reinvestigation background checks.
Would you expect that every single member of the FBI that went into Mar-a-Lago had that qualification? Would that be mandatory?
If they're going to be viewing in any way, shape, or form classified documents, then yes, one would think that.
Right. Congressman Brian Fitzpatrick, thank you. What?
Typically in a search like this, it's the evidence response team. They're a specialized group of evidence recovery personnel that would work under the auspices of the case agent.
All right, one quick question is that you would not, I mean, one of the complaints of the Trump team is that no one is allowed to go through the house with the agents as they made their seizure. I take it that it's routine that they go and they do their seizure alone without letting other people accompany them.
Typically, they secure the residence for safety purposes. Now, it varies based on the search location and the circumstances, whether they can remain in the residence, whether they're outside, how close to the actual search location attorneys could be. That's really a policy decision inside the Bureau itself.
Congressman Brian Fitzpatrick, thank you, sir.
You bet. Thanks.